The information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or before starting any new supplement or dietary regimen. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have seen in this presentation. Reliance on any information provided in this video is solely at your own risk. You just saw the positive test. Your heart is pounding, your mind is racing. A million emotions are flooding through you all at once. Joy, excitement, maybe a little bit of terror. And then, almost immediately, the questions start. Am I doing this right? What should I eat? What should I avoid? You grab your phone and type into Google. And suddenly you're drowning in a sea of conflicting advice, mommy blogs, and terrifying forum posts. It's overwhelming. But what if I told you that up to 92% of pregnant women in the United States are failing to meet the recommended intake for at least one critical vitamin or mineral? 92%. That means the vast majority of women, even those who are trying their absolute best, have a nutritional gap. That's not a scare tactic, it's a wake-up call. It highlights a huge problem. We're told to eat healthy, but we're not always told what that specifically means for creating a new human life. The good news is you can close that gap. You can walk into your doctor's office not with a list of 100 confusing questions from the internet, but with a handful of powerful targeted questions that will transform your prenatal care. This video is your new playbook. We are going to cut through all the noise and give you the essential evidence-based list of nutrients you need to be discussing with your doctor. We're going to turn that feeling of overwhelming anxiety into a feeling of empowered confidence. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to ask to ensure you and your baby are getting precisely what you need. So let's start with the undisputed heavyweight champion of prenatal nutrients, the one you've almost certainly heard of, folate. But here's the thing, most people don't really understand why it's so important, or that the type of folate you take can make a world of difference. First, a quick clarification. You'll hear two terms, folate and folic acid. They're often used interchangeably, but they're not the same. Folate is the natural form found in foods like leafy greens, broccoli, and beans. Folic acid is the synthetic, man-made version used in most supplements and fortified foods like bread and cereal. Your body has to convert folic acid into a usable form of folate. For most people, this works just fine. But stick with me because for a huge portion of the population it doesn't, and this is a conversation you need to have with your doctor. So why is this nutrient the absolute number one, non-negotiable, first on the list essential? Because it plays a starring role in preventing one of the most common and serious types of birth defects, neural tube defects. Imagine your baby's developing nervous system in the first few weeks of life. The brain and spinal cord start as a flat sheet of cells that, in a critical 28-day window after conception, rolls up and zips shut to form a tube, the neural tube. Folate is the master architect of this process. It's the key that turns the engine for cell growth and division, telling the cells to multiply and close that tube perfectly. When there isn't enough folate, that tube might not close completely. This can lead to conditions like spina bifida, where the spinal cord doesn't develop properly, or anencephaly, a devastating condition where parts of the brain and skull are missing. Now, here is the most important time-sensitive piece of information about folate. This entire process, the closing of the neural tube, happens between day 21 and day 28 after conception. That's before most women even know they are pregnant. That's why you hear the recommendation for all women of childbearing age to take a supplement. You're building the nutritional foundation for a healthy pregnancy before it even begins. You're stocking the construction site with all the necessary materials before the builders are scheduled to show up. The standard recommendation from organizations like the Centers for Disease Control and the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists is to get at least 400 micrograms of folic acid daily before pregnancy, and then to increase that to 600 micrograms once you're pregnant. You can get some folate from your diet. A cup of cooked spinach has about 260 micrograms. A cup of lentils has over 350. But it's very difficult to consistently get enough from food alone, which is why supplementation is universally recommended. But here's where we get to the next level. This is the information that separates the generic advice from the personalized care you deserve. We need to talk about a gene called MTHFR. It sounds complicated, but the concept is simple. The MTHFR gene provides instructions for making an enzyme that is crucial for converting the synthetic folic acid from your supplement into the active form your body can actually use. which is called L-methylfolate. Think of it like this. Folic acid is a locked treasure chest. The MTHFR enzyme is the key that opens it, releasing the treasure, active folate, that your body can use to build your baby's neural tube. Here's the catch. An estimated 40 to 60% of the population has a genetic variation or mutation on this MTHFR gene. For these people, the key is bent. It doesn't work as efficiently. They can take folic acid, but their body struggles to unlock it and convert it into the usable treasure. They might be taking the recommended dose of folic acid every single day, thinking they're protected, but their body simply can't process it effectively, leaving them and their baby with a functional folate deficiency. This is a massive blind spot in prenatal nutrition. You can be doing everything right on the outside, but your own genetics could be working against you on the inside. So what's the solution? For people with this genetic variation, the answer isn't necessarily more folic acid. It's a different form of folate. Instead of giving your body the locked treasure chest, you can give it the treasure directly. This is where L-methylfolate comes in. It's the already converted, bioavailable form of folate. It bypasses the need for that faulty MTHFR enzyme entirely. It's like having the treasure delivered directly to your doorstep. No key required. Many high-quality prenatal vitamins are now switching from folic acid to L-methylfolate for this very reason. It works for everyone, regardless of their MTHFR status. This is not about running out and getting a genetic test tomorrow. It's about being informed. It's about understanding that folate isn't a one-size-fits-all nutrient. The form matters. And this brings us to the first powerful specific question to write down and take to your doctor. Don't just ask if you should take a prenatal. Ask this: given the prevalence of MTHFR gene variations, should I be taking a prenatal vitamin with L-methylfolate instead of folic acid to ensure I'm absorbing it properly? What form and dose do you recommend for me, based on my personal and family health history? This single question changes the entire dynamic. It shows you've done your research. It opens a dialogue about bioavailability and genetic factors. It moves beyond the basic checklist and into the realm of truly personalized medicine. You're no longer just a passive patient. You're an active, informed partner in your own healthcare. Mastering this one conversation about the cornerstone of prenatal health sets the stage for everything else. Because if this is the level of detail that goes into just one nutrient, imagine what else there is to know. And what else there is to know is absolutely staggering. Let's move from the foundational blueprint of the neural tube to the very lifeline that fuels all of that construction: the oxygen delivery system. Imagine for a moment you're building the most complex metropolis the world has ever seen. You've got the blueprints, the architectural plans are flawless, but none of the workers can breathe. The cranes can't get fuel. The entire project grinds to a halt. That, in essence, is what happens in the body without enough iron. During pregnancy, your blood volume increases by a staggering 40 to 50%. Think about that. Your body is manufacturing almost 1.5 times the amount of blood you normally have. It's creating a whole new superhighway system of veins and arteries to service the placenta and your growing baby. And what is the most critical component of that blood? The red blood cells. And what makes red blood cells actually work? Hemoglobin. And what is the absolute, non-negotiable core atom at the center of every single hemoglobin molecule? Iron. Iron is the mineral that physically grabs onto oxygen in your lungs and carries it, cell by cell, to every part of your body, and most importantly, across the placenta to your baby. Your baby needs this constant, uninterrupted flow of oxygen for every aspect of its development: its brain, its organs, its tiny beating heart. But it doesn't stop there. Your baby is also incredibly smart. It knows it will be born into a world where its initial food source, milk, is naturally low in iron. So during the third trimester, it begins to frantically stockpile iron from you, building up its own reserves to last for the first 4 to 6 months of life. It's like a squirrel burying nuts for the winter, and your body is the oak tree. This incredible demand is why iron deficiency anemia is one of the most common nutritional deficiencies seen in pregnancy. And it's not just about feeling a little tired. This is a specific medical condition that your doctor is actively monitoring for. The fatigue from anemia is a bone-deep exhaustion that sleep doesn't touch. It can feel like you're trying to run a marathon while breathing through a straw. You might experience shortness of breath just walking up a flight of stairs, feel dizzy or lightheaded, have cold hands and feet, or notice your skin is paler than usual. For some, it even manifests as a strange craving to eat non-food items like ice or dirt, a condition called pica. The potential health implications are why your doctor takes this so seriously. Studies have suggested a link between significant, untreated iron deficiency anemia and a higher risk of preterm delivery, low birth weight, and even an increased risk for postpartum depression in mothers. This isn't meant to be alarming. It's meant to be empowering. It's the reason why the conversation about iron is not optional. It's a critical safety check. So, what does this conversation look like? First, know that your doctor will almost certainly test your iron levels as part of your routine prenatal blood work, usually in the first trimester and again later on. They'll perform what's called a complete blood count, or CBC. Two numbers they look at closely are your hemoglobin and your hematocrit. You have every right to be an active participant here. You can ask, could we look at my CBC results together? What are my hemoglobin levels? And what is the ideal range for this stage of my pregnancy? If your levels are low, or even just borderline, the discussion will turn to supplementation. And this is where you can elevate the conversation from simply receiving a prescription to truly understanding your options. The default prescription is often a form of iron called ferrous sulfate. It's effective and inexpensive, but for many, it comes with a host of unpleasant digestive side effects: constipation, nausea, stomach cramps, and dark stools. So many people stop taking it because it makes them feel miserable, which completely defeats the purpose. This is your opportunity to advocate for yourself. You can say, I'm a bit concerned about the potential digestive side effects of iron. I want to make sure I can take it consistently. Are there other forms of iron we could consider that might be gentler? This single question opens the door to a more nuanced plan. Your doctor might suggest other forms like ferrous gluconate, which is often better tolerated. Or you might discuss what's known as chelated iron. The most common one is iron bisglycinate. In simple terms, the iron molecule is wrapped in an amino acid. This little disguise helps it travel through the digestive system more easily, causing significantly less irritation, and for many people, being absorbed far more effectively. It can be a complete game changer for tolerability. Asking about it shows your doctor you're not just a passive patient, you're a proactive partner. The next part of the conversation is dosage. This is critically important. Iron is not a nutrient where more is always better. Too much iron can be toxic. The dosage you need is highly individual and depends entirely on your blood work. Never, ever self-prescribe high-dose iron supplements during pregnancy. This must be guided by your healthcare provider. Once you have the right form and the right dose, the final piece of the puzzle is absorption. You can take the most expensive iron supplement in the world, but if your body can't absorb it, it's useless. And there are two simple, powerful secrets to maximizing it. First, iron's best friend is vitamin C. Vitamin C transforms iron into a state that is much more readily absorbed by your intestines. The conversation with your doctor can be as simple as, to help with absorption, should I take my iron with a small glass of orange juice, or maybe with my vitamin C supplement? The answer will be a resounding yes. Taking them together can dramatically increase how much iron your body actually uses. Second, iron has enemies, compounds that actively block its absorption. The biggest culprit is calcium. Calcium and iron compete for the same absorption pathways in your gut. If you take them at the same time, they basically get in each other's way, and you absorb less of both. This is a huge deal because your prenatal vitamin likely contains a large amount of calcium. Other blockers include tannins, which are found in coffee and tea, and phytates, found in whole grains and legumes. So, the practical question for your doctor is, to make sure I'm absorbing my iron properly, how should I time it with my prenatal vitamin and my meals? Should I take it on an empty stomach? Most will advise you to take your iron supplement at least 2 hours apart from any calcium-rich foods like milk or yogurt, your prenatal vitamin, or your morning cup of coffee or tea. For many, taking it an hour before a meal or 2 hours after is the sweet spot. This simple scheduling trick can make the difference between your iron levels rising or staying stubbornly low. Of course, supplements are just that, a supplement to a diet that should be the foundation. You can discuss food sources, distinguishing between the two types of dietary iron. There's heme iron found in animal products like red meat, poultry, and fish. This is the most bioavailable form, the easiest for your body to absorb. Then there's non-heme iron, from plant sources like lentils, spinach, beans, and fortified cereals. It's less easily absorbed, but its absorption is massively boosted when you eat it with a source of vitamin C. Think of a spinach salad with strawberries and a lemon vinaigrette, or black bean tacos with a fresh salsa. For those on a vegetarian or vegan diet, this conversation is even more vital. You'll need a clear strategy to meet your needs. And your doctor can help you formulate a plan that ensures both you and your baby are getting this critical, oxygen-carrying mineral. Understanding iron isn't just about preventing fatigue. It's about consciously managing the entire logistics and supply chain for the incredible construction project happening inside you. You are ensuring the fuel lines are open, the workers can breathe, and the metropolis can be built on schedule. Once you've secured that oxygen supply line, there's another system that needs immediate attention. It's the literal architectural blueprint for your baby's brain and bones. A mineral so important that your body will actually pull it from your own skeleton to provide for your baby if it has to. And understanding that dynamic is the key to protecting both of your futures. That mineral is calcium. And the story of calcium during pregnancy is one of the most incredible, almost primal, examples of how a mother's body prioritizes the life it's creating. Think of your skeleton not just as the structure that holds you up, but as a bank. A calcium bank. Over your entire life, you've been making deposits through your diet. Now, during pregnancy, your baby needs to make a massive withdrawal to build its own future. And your body is the ultimate banker. It will approve that withdrawal no matter what. If your dietary deposits aren't enough to cover the cost, the bank manager, your own biology, will authorize a transfer directly from your savings account, your bones and teeth. This is not a flaw in the system. It's a breathtakingly beautiful failsafe. It ensures that, even in times of scarcity, your baby gets the fundamental building blocks it needs. But it comes with a profound responsibility for you. You are now managing the calcium economy for two. Your job is to make sure the daily deposits are so high that your body never has to raid your long-term savings. Because while your baby will be fine, those withdrawals from your own bone bank can have consequences years, even decades down the line, potentially increasing your risk for osteoporosis and fractures later in life. Protecting your baby's future starts with protecting your own. So, what exactly is all this calcium doing? We all know it builds strong bones and teeth, and that's its primary, most famous role. During pregnancy, you are literally spinning a human skeleton out of the calcium you consume. From the tiny vertebrae of the spine to the delicate bones of the inner ear, every single piece is constructed from this mineral. In the third trimester, when your baby's growth explodes, they can absorb up to 250 milligrams of calcium from you every single day. That's the amount in a large glass of milk, being transferred from you to your baby every 24 hours. But to think of calcium as just a bone builder is like saying the internet is just for sending email. It's a vast oversimplification. Calcium is the master signaling molecule in the human body. It's the spark that makes things happen. Imagine your nervous system as an intricate network of electrical wiring. Calcium is what allows the electrical impulse, the message, to jump from one nerve cell to the next. Without it, your brain couldn't tell your heart to beat or your lungs to breathe. It's fundamental to all communication within the body. And as your baby's brain and nervous system are wiring themselves up at an explosive rate, they are drawing on your calcium supply to create those connections. It also governs muscle contraction. Every time you flex your arm, take a step, or even blink, it's calcium ions flooding into your muscle cells that trigger the movement. This includes the most important muscle of all, the heart. Calcium helps regulate your heartbeat, keeping it steady and strong. And you guessed it, your baby is building its own tiny, perfect heart, a heart that will need to beat for a lifetime, and it's using your calcium to set its own rhythm. It even plays a critical role in blood clotting. If you get a small cut, it's calcium that helps activate the chain reaction to form a clot and stop the bleeding. It's a vital, life-saving function that we rarely think about. So when you have that conversation with your doctor about calcium, you're not just discussing bones. You're discussing your baby's entire operating system. Their nerves, their muscles, their heart, their ability to heal. And you're discussing your own long-term health and strength as a mother. The recommended daily intake for pregnant women in the United States is generally around 1,000 milligrams per day. For teenagers who are pregnant, that number bumps up to 1,300 milligrams because their own bones are still developing. Now, these numbers can feel abstract. So let's translate that into food. What does 1,000 milligrams of calcium actually look like on a plate? The classic source, of course, is dairy. An 8-ounce glass of milk has about 300 milligrams. A cup of plain yogurt can have over 400. An ounce and a half of cheddar cheese, about 300. So you can see how 2 or 3 servings of dairy a day can get you very close to your goal. But what if you're lactose intolerant, vegan, or just don't like a lot of dairy? This is where the modern food landscape is a huge advantage. The options are incredible. Let's start with leafy greens. A single cup of cooked collard greens packs over 250 milligrams. Kale and bok choy are also fantastic sources. One small note of caution. While spinach is healthy and contains calcium, it also contains compounds called oxalates, which can bind to calcium and reduce its absorption. It's still good for you, but don't rely on it as your primary calcium source. Fortified foods are your secret weapon. Many brands of orange juice, almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, and breakfast cereals are now fortified with calcium, often providing 300 milligrams or more per serving, the same as a glass of cow's milk. Just be sure to check the nutrition label, as the amounts can vary widely between brands. Some of the most potent and surprising sources come from the sea. Canned sardines and salmon, specifically the kind with the soft, edible bones, are calcium powerhouses. Just 3 ounces of sardines can deliver over 300 milligrams. The bones, softened by the canning process, are where the mineral is concentrated. Mashing them up so you don't notice them is a simple trick to get a huge nutritional boost. And don't forget about legumes and seeds. Tofu, especially if it's prepared with calcium sulfate, can be a great source. Chia seeds are tiny but mighty. Just 2 tablespoons contain about 175 milligrams. A handful of almonds for a snack adds another 80 milligrams. But here's a critical piece of the puzzle that often gets missed. Consuming calcium isn't enough. Your body has to be able to absorb it. And for that, calcium needs a partner. A best friend. That best friend is vitamin D. You can think of vitamin D as the gatekeeper. It's the key that unlocks the door in your intestines, allowing calcium to pass from your digestive tract into your bloodstream where it can be used. Without enough vitamin D, most of the calcium you eat will pass right through your system and used. You could be eating a perfect, calcium-rich diet, but without adequate vitamin D, it won't matter. Your body will still think it's in a deficit and will continue to pull from your bone bank. Your body can make vitamin D from sun exposure, but for many people in the US, especially in northern climates during the winter, that's not enough. Dietary sources include fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, egg yolks, and importantly, fortified milk and cereals, the same foods that are often fortified with calcium. This is why having a conversation with your doctor is so essential. They can assess your levels, your diet, and your lifestyle to see if a supplement is needed. This brings us to the final question. Do you need a calcium supplement? Your prenatal vitamin likely contains some calcium, but often not the full daily amount because a full dose would make the pill enormous. The answer depends entirely on your diet. This is where you and your doctor become detectives. They'll want to know, are you getting those 3 to 4 servings of high calcium foods per day? If the answer is a confident yes, you may not need anything extra. But if you have dietary restrictions, severe morning sickness, or you just know your diet isn't consistent, a supplement can act as an insurance policy. It fills in the gaps and ensures that both you and your baby are covered every single day. Your doctor can recommend the right type, like calcium carbonate or calcium citrate, and the right dosage for your specific situation. So the mission is clear. Fortify your body. Flood it with enough dietary calcium so that it can generously give to your baby without ever having to take from you. You are building the literal foundation of a new life, and at the same time, you are preserving the strength of your own foundation for all the years to come. We've established the structural framework with calcium, but a building is more than just a frame. It needs plumbing, electricity, and a way to transport materials to every single floor. To do that, the body needs to dramatically expand its most critical delivery system. It needs to build a superhighway for oxygen and nutrients, a system that requires a very specific, very powerful element to function. And a deficiency in this next nutrient is one of the most common issues pregnant women face worldwide. That element is iron. And it's not just a mineral. During pregnancy, it's the architect of life's most critical delivery service. Your body's blood volume can increase by nearly 50% during these 9 months. Think about that. 50% more blood. That's not a small top-up. That's a massive infrastructure project happening inside you. This new expanded river of life needs a fleet of vehicles to carry oxygen from your lungs to every single cell in your body, and most importantly, across the placenta to your growing baby. Those vehicles are your red blood cells, and the engine in every single one of them is built from iron. Iron is what allows hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells, to literally grab onto oxygen molecules and transport them. Without enough iron, you can't build enough engines for your delivery fleet. The whole system starts to slow down. The superhighway becomes a congested backroad. This condition is called iron deficiency anemia, and it's the single most common nutritional deficiency in the world, especially for expectant mothers. So what does this actually feel like? It's not a sudden event. It's a slow creeping exhaustion. It's the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. It's a bone-deep weariness that you might just brush off as a normal part of pregnancy. You might notice you're getting out of breath just walking up a flight of stairs you used to take 2 at a time. Maybe your skin looks paler than usual, or you feel dizzy and lightheaded when you stand up too quickly. Your heart might even start to race, working overtime trying to pump the underoxygenated blood faster to compensate. These aren't just vague symptoms. They are warning lights on your body's dashboard, signaling a critical shortage in its oxygen transport capacity. And the stakes are incredibly high. For you, severe anemia can increase the risk of complications. For your baby, it's even more significant. Your baby is not just borrowing your oxygen. They are actively building their own iron reserves for the first 6 months of their life outside the womb. If your own stores are low, their ability to build up this crucial stockpile is compromised. Studies have linked severe maternal iron deficiency to a higher risk of preterm birth, low birth weight, and even potential long-term impacts on a child's cognitive development. This isn't meant to be alarming. It's meant to be empowering. It's the reason why understanding and managing your iron levels, in partnership with your doctor, is one of the most proactive steps you can take for a healthy pregnancy. So how do we tackle this? The first line of defense, as always, is through your diet. But with iron, there's a fascinating twist. There are 2 types, and your body treats them very differently. First, you have heme iron. This is the VIP of the iron world. It comes from animal sources. Think red meat, poultry, and fish. Your body absorbs heme iron incredibly efficiently. It has an all-access pass to your bloodstream. Then there's non-heme iron. This is the iron found in plant-based foods, lentils, beans, spinach, tofu, and fortified cereals. It's still incredibly valuable, but it's a bit harder for your body to absorb. It needs a little help to get past the velvet rope. And here is where you can become a master of your own nutritional chemistry. The secret to unlocking non-heme iron is vitamin C. Think of vitamin C as the ultimate wingman for iron. It dramatically increases your body's ability to absorb iron from plant sources. This is practical, actionable knowledge you can use every single day. Having a bowl of fortified cereal for breakfast? Have it with a glass of orange juice. Making a big spinach salad for lunch? Throw in some bell peppers or strawberries. Cooking up some lentil soup for dinner? Squeeze a fresh lemon over it right before you eat. These simple food pairings can make a monumental difference in how much iron your body actually gets to use. But just as there's a key to unlock absorption, there are also gatekeepers that can block it. The 2 biggest culprits are calcium and compounds called tannins, which are found in coffee and tea. They can significantly interfere with iron absorption, especially non-heme iron. This doesn't mean you have to give up your morning latte or your fortified yogurt. It just means you need to be strategic about timing. Try to separate your iron-rich meals from your calcium-rich foods, or your cup of tea by at least an hour or 2. So instead of taking your iron supplement with a glass of milk, take it with a small glass of orange juice. It's these small, intelligent adjustments that can transform your diet from good to great. Now, here is the critical reality check. For many women, even the most perfectly curated, iron-rich diet isn't enough to meet the staggering demands of pregnancy. The sheer volume required is so high that supplementation often becomes a necessity. This is precisely why iron is an essential topic to discuss with your healthcare provider. This is not a do-it-yourself situation. Your doctor won't just guess, they will run simple blood tests to check your hemoglobin and, more importantly, your ferritin levels. Ferritin is your body's iron storage protein. A ferritin test tells your doctor not just how much iron is currently in circulation, but how much you have saved up in the bank. This gives them a precise picture of your iron status and allows them to recommend the right type and dosage of an iron supplement, if you need one. Taking too much iron can cause its own set of problems, so following your doctor's guidance is paramount. And let's be honest, iron supplements have a bit of a reputation. They are notorious for causing digestive side effects, particularly constipation and an upset stomach. This is a real issue that can make it hard for women to stick with their regimen. But don't suffer in silence. If your supplement is causing you problems, talk to your doctor. There are many different forms of iron available. Some, like iron bisglycinate, are known to be much gentler on the stomach. Your doctor might also suggest taking it with a small amount of food, splitting the dose, or taking it every other day. as some research suggests this can actually improve absorption and reduce side effects. The goal is to find a solution that works for you, ensuring your body and your baby get this vital mineral without making you miserable. So we've built the superhighway and dispatched the fleet of oxygen delivery trucks powered by iron. We've ensured the most fundamental supply line is running smoothly. But for a project as complex as building a new human, you need more than just raw materials and transportation. You need a master architect, a quality control inspector, a nutrient that works at the most microscopic level, overseeing the copying of the genetic blueprint itself. A deficiency in this next nutrient can lead to some of the most serious birth defects, and its discovery fundamentally changed prenatal care forever. That nutrient is folate, or as you might know it in its synthetic form, folic acid. This is vitamin B9, and its story is one of the greatest public health triumphs of the 20th century. To understand its power, we have to travel back in time, to a period when doctors were baffled by a devastating group of birth defects known as neural tube defects. Conditions like spina bifida, where the spinal column doesn't close properly, and anencephaly, where parts of the brain and skull are missing. For decades, the cause was a mystery. It was a heartbreaking lottery, a random tragedy that struck families without warning. But in the 1960s, a British medical researcher named Richard Smithles began to suspect a link. He noticed that mothers who had one child with a neural tube defect were more likely to have another. This suggested it wasn't just random chance. He also observed that these defects were more common in lower socioeconomic groups, which pointed towards a possible environmental factor, perhaps something related to diet. He hypothesized that a vitamin deficiency in early pregnancy might be the culprit. This was a radical idea at the time. The medical establishment was skeptical, but Smithles and his colleagues persisted. They launched a groundbreaking study, giving vitamin supplements, including folic acid, to women who had previously had a child with a neural tube defect. The results were staggering. The women who took the supplements had a dramatically lower rate of recurrence compared to those who didn't. It was the first major piece of evidence. Still, the world needed more proof. The definitive answer came from a massive, multi-center study published in 1991. The evidence was so overwhelming, so undeniable, that the study was stopped early. It was considered unethical to continue withholding folic acid from the control group. The results showed that taking folic acid before conception and during the first few weeks of pregnancy could reduce the risk of these devastating birth defects by up to 70%. It was a watershed moment. A simple, inexpensive vitamin could prevent a lifetime of disability or loss. So how does it work? What is folate actually doing inside the body at that microscopic level? Imagine your DNA is an incredibly long, complex zipper. For a new cell to be created, and in early pregnancy, cells are dividing at an explosive rate. That zipper has to be perfectly unzipped and then an exact copy has to be made. Folate is one of the master keys to this process. It's essential for synthesizing and repairing DNA. It provides the raw materials, the basic building blocks called nucleotides, that form the teeth of that new DNA zipper. Without enough folate, the copying process gets sloppy. The machinery starts making mistakes. The zipper teeth don't line up, and the genetic code gets corrupted. During the first few weeks of pregnancy, one of the most critical events is the formation of the neural tube. This is a tiny structure in the embryo that will eventually develop into the baby's brain and spinal cord. It starts as a flat sheet of cells that must fold over and fuse shut like a tube. This process requires a massive amount of rapid, perfectly coordinated cell division. If there isn't enough folate to ensure perfect DNA replication, the tube may not close completely. The result is a neural tube defect. And here is the most critical piece of information about folate, the part that every person considering pregnancy needs to understand. The neural tube closes by the 28th day after conception. That's just 4 weeks. This is often before a woman even realizes she is pregnant, before the missed period, before the positive test. The window of opportunity to prevent these defects is incredibly small, and it happens incredibly early. This is why the recommendation isn't just for pregnant women. The U.S. Public Health Service and the CDC recommend that all women of childbearing age consume 400 micrograms of folic acid daily. Not just when you're trying to conceive, but as a baseline. Because by the time you know you need it, the most critical period might already have passed. This discovery was so profound that it led to a massive shift in public policy. In 1998, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration mandated that all enriched grain products, think bread, pasta, rice, and cereal, be fortified with folic acid. It was a simple, passive way to increase the folate intake of the entire population. And the results? They speak for themselves. The rates of neural tube defects in the United States plummeted by about 35%. It's estimated this simple act of fortification prevents over 1,300 birth defects every single year in the US alone. It's a quiet miracle happening on our grocery store shelves every single day. Now you might see the terms folate and folic acid used interchangeably, but there's a subtle difference worth knowing about. Folate is the natural form found in foods. Think leafy greens. The word folate actually comes from the Latin word folium, for leaf. So spinach, kale, broccoli, asparagus, these are all fantastic sources. Lentils, beans, and avocados are also packed with it. Folic acid is the synthetic, more stable form used in supplements and fortified foods. For most people, the body converts folic acid into the active form of folate it can use. However, there's a genetic variation that's become a hot topic of discussion: the MTHFR gene mutation. This gene provides instructions for making an enzyme that's crucial for converting folic acid into its active form, called methylfolate. Some individuals have a common genetic variant that can make this conversion process less efficient. For this group, taking standard folic acid might not be as effective. This is a complex topic, and having a genetic variant doesn't automatically mean you have a problem. But if you have a personal or family history of neural tube defects, or have concerns about this, it is an excellent and important conversation to have with your doctor. They can provide guidance on whether a different form of folate, like L-methylfolate, might be a better option for your specific situation. So what's the plan of action? First, it's about food. Loading up your diet with folate-rich foods is always a great foundation. Eating those dark leafy greens, legumes, and citrus fruits provides not just folate, but a whole symphony of other nutrients that work together. Second, it's about fortification. By choosing enriched grains, you're getting a steady low-level supply without even thinking about it. And third, and this is the most direct approach, it's about supplementation. A prenatal vitamin is specifically formulated to bridge any gaps in your diet. The standard recommendation is to look for one with at least 400 to 600 micrograms of folic acid, but some women, especially those with a previous pregnancy affected by a neural tube defect, may be advised by their doctor to take a much higher dose. Again, this is a decision that must be made in consultation with your healthcare provider. They can assess your individual risk factors, your diet, and your health history to recommend the right amount and the right form for you. Folate is the guardian of the blueprint. It's the nutrient that ensures the very first, most fundamental instructions for building a human being are copied with perfect fidelity. Its importance cannot be overstated, and its story is a powerful reminder of how a tiny molecule can have a life-altering impact. But while folate is busy overseeing the genetic code, another nutrient is taking on a completely different, but equally vital, construction project. This next nutrient isn't about information, it's about transportation. It's responsible for building the delivery system that carries life-giving oxygen to every single cell in your body and every single cell of your growing baby. A shortage of this mineral is one of the most common deficiencies in the world, and during pregnancy, the demand for it absolutely skyrockets, turning your body into a factory that runs 24/7. Without it, both mother and baby can be left feeling exhausted, weak, and unable to thrive. We're talking about iron. Think of your body during pregnancy as the most incredible construction project on Earth. You are building a new human from scratch. And iron is the steel. It's the fundamental material needed to create the transportation network that carries life itself, oxygen, to every single cell of both you and your growing baby. The reason the demand skyrockets is because of one of the most dramatic changes that happens during pregnancy. The sheer volume of your blood increases by an astonishing 30 to 50%. Let that sink in for a moment. It's like taking every drop of blood in your body right now and then pouring in half as much again. This isn't just water. This is new functional oxygen-carrying blood. Your body has to manufacture billions upon billions of new red blood cells to fill this expanded circulatory system. And the core component, the very heart of every single one of those red blood cells, is an iron-based protein called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the delivery truck. Oxygen is the precious cargo. Without enough iron, you can't build enough trucks. And if you can't build enough trucks, you can't deliver enough oxygen. The entire construction project starts to slow down. The factory workers, your own cells, get sluggish and tired. The new structure being built, your baby, doesn't get the steady supply of materials it needs to grow on schedule. This condition is called iron deficiency anemia, and it's incredibly common during pregnancy precisely because of this massive, unprecedented demand for iron. It's more than just feeling pregnancy tired. This is a deep cellular exhaustion. It's feeling winded after walking up a single flight of stairs. It's dizziness, feeling faint, having a racing heart, or noticing that your skin, lips, and nail beds are paler than usual. It's a physical manifestation of your body's inability to keep up with the oxygen delivery demands. But the consequences aren't just about how you feel. For the mother, significant iron deficiency anemia has been associated in some studies with a higher risk of preterm labor and low birth weight. It can also increase the risk of needing a blood transfusion during delivery, and can even impact your recovery and mood in the postpartum period. And for your baby, the stakes are just as high. During the third trimester, your baby is not just using the iron you provide for its immediate needs. It's actively pulling it from your system and storing it. Your baby is building up its own iron reserve, a critical stockpile designed to last for the first 4 to 6 months of its life outside the womb. During that time, breast milk is relatively low in iron, so the baby relies almost entirely on the savings account of iron it built up while in utero. If your own iron levels are low, your baby can't build up an adequate reserve. This can put them at risk for their own iron deficiency anemia as an infant, a condition which research has suggested may have impacts on cognitive development and growth. So, how do we ensure this critical factory has all the steel it needs? This is a conversation that is non-negotiable with your doctor, because the solution is multifaceted. Starts with your diet. Iron from food comes in 2 forms, heme and non-heme. Heme iron, found in animal products, is the superstar of absorption. Your body can use it incredibly efficiently. This includes things like lean red meat, poultry, and fish. When choosing fish, it's wise to stick to options lower in mercury, such as salmon, which is also a fantastic source of omega-3s we'll discuss later. Non-heme iron comes from plant-based sources. Think of lentils, chickpeas, beans, spinach, kale, tofu, and iron-fortified cereals and breads. While your body doesn't absorb non-heme iron as easily as heme iron, it is still an absolutely vital part of the equation, especially for vegetarian or vegan mothers-to-be. But here is where the information becomes truly powerful. You can dramatically increase how much non-heme iron your body absorbs with a simple trick. Pair it with vitamin C. Vitamin C is like a key that unlocks non-heme iron, transforming it into a form your body can readily use. This is so easy to implement. Squeeze fresh lemon juice over a spinach and lentil salad. Have a small glass of orange juice with your iron-fortified breakfast cereal. Chop up red bell peppers, which are packed with vitamin C, and add them to your bean chili. This simple food pairing strategy can significantly boost your iron intake from every meal. Just as important as knowing what helps absorption is knowing what hinders it. The 2 biggest culprits are calcium and compounds called tannins found in tea and coffee. Calcium directly competes with iron for absorption in your gut. This doesn't mean you should stop consuming calcium. It's critically important, as we'll soon discover. It just means you should be strategic. Try to avoid taking a calcium supplement or consuming a large glass of milk at the same time as your main iron-rich meal. Similarly, that cup of coffee or black tea can reduce iron absorption by over 50%. The advice here is simple. Try to have your coffee or tea at least an hour before or 2 hours after your iron-focused meal. Now, for many pregnant women, even with a perfectly planned diet, meeting the body's massive iron requirement is nearly impossible through food alone. This is why your doctor will be monitoring you so closely. Standard prenatal care in the United States includes blood tests to screen for anemia. They'll look at your hemoglobin levels, the number of oxygen delivery trucks, and often your ferritin levels, which measures your body's overall iron stores, your backup supply in the warehouse. If these numbers are low, your doctor will likely recommend an iron supplement. And this is a crucial point. You should never, ever start taking a separate iron supplement without your doctor's explicit recommendation. While iron is essential, too much iron can be toxic and cause unpleasant side effects like severe constipation, nausea, and stomach upset. The dosage needs to be tailored to your specific blood test results and your individual needs. Your prenatal vitamin already contains a maintenance dose of iron, but your doctor will determine if you need a therapeutic dose on top of that. They can also recommend specific forms of iron that are easier on the digestive system, like iron bisglycinate. Getting your iron levels right is one of a pregnant mother's superpowers. It is the act of ensuring the fundamental life force of oxygen can reach every corner of the incredible project you are undertaking, fueling your own well-being and laying the foundation for your baby's healthy start in the world. So we've built the delivery trucks and the superhighways to transport oxygen and life-giving nutrients. But what about the actual skyscraper being built? The very foundation, the steel beams and concrete of your baby's skeleton and future teeth. There's a mineral that acts as the primary building block. And if you don't provide enough through your diet, your baby's biology is ingeniously programmed to get it anyway. It will literally pull it directly from your own bones and teeth, setting you up for significant problems down the road. This silent thief is something we absolutely have to talk about. So let's unmask this silent thief. The nutrient we're talking about is, of course, calcium. And the story of calcium in pregnancy is far more complex and fascinating than just drink your milk. We all know calcium is crucial. It's the literal building block for your baby's bones, their tiny teeth, their heart, nerves, and muscles. During the third trimester, your baby's demand for calcium skyrockets, as they can deposit up to 350 milligrams into their rapidly hardening skeleton every single day. That's a massive withdrawal from the bank of mom. And as we just established, if your dietary intake isn't enough to cover that withdrawal, your body has a non-negotiable backup plan. It will authorize a transfer directly from your own skeletal system. This isn't a maybe. It's a biological certainty. This demineralization process is why some studies have linked multiple pregnancies with a higher risk of osteoporosis later in life. It's the reason for the old saying, gain a child, lose a tooth. But here is the critical piece of information that is so often missed, the part that changes everything. Simply flooding your body with more calcium, whether from dairy, leafy greens, or a giant supplement pill, is not the answer. In fact, taking calcium alone can be like hiring a construction crew, shipping them a mountain of bricks, but giving them no mortar, no blueprints, and no foreman. The bricks just pile up, unused, and can even get in the way or end up in places they don't belong. To build a strong skeleton for your baby and protect your own, calcium needs a team. It's a team of non-negotiable cofactors that work in perfect synergy. And without them, all that calcium you're so carefully consuming might not be absorbed, or worse, it could be absorbed but then deposited in the wrong places. The first and most important member of this team is vitamin D. Think of vitamin D as the gatekeeper. Calcium arrives in your intestines, ready to get to work, but it's stuck outside a locked gate. It cannot enter your bloodstream without vitamin D. Vitamin D is the key that unlocks the gate, allowing calcium to be absorbed and become available for use. If you are deficient in vitamin D, you could be consuming all the calcium in the world, and most of it will pass right through you, completely unused. You're just renting it. And vitamin D deficiency is shockingly common in the United States. We call it the sunshine vitamin, but for many people, especially those in northern latitudes during the winter, those with darker skin tones, or those who are diligent about sunscreen use, relying on the sun is simply not enough. During pregnancy, the demand for vitamin D increases to support this massive calcium transfer to the baby. This is why having your vitamin D levels tested is one of the most proactive steps you can take. It's a simple blood test that gives you and your doctor a clear picture of your status, allowing you to supplement appropriately and ensure that the gate is wide open for all the calcium your baby needs. But getting calcium into the bloodstream is only half the battle. This is where the second and perhaps most overlooked member of the team comes in: vitamin K2. If vitamin D is the gatekeeper, vitamin K2 is the traffic cop. Once calcium is in your bloodstream, it's floating around waiting for instructions. Vitamin K2 is the nutrient that tells it exactly where to go. It activates proteins that direct calcium to be deposited into your bones and your baby's bones, the places you want it. Even more importantly, it prevents calcium from being deposited in places you absolutely don't want it, like your arteries, kidneys, and other soft tissues, where it can cause calcification and long-term health problems. This is a crucial distinction. Most people have heard of vitamin K, but they're usually thinking of vitamin K1, which is found in leafy green vegetables and is primarily involved in blood clotting. Vitamin K2 is different. It's found in foods that are less common in the modern American diet. Fermented foods like natto, certain hard cheeses like Gouda and Brie, goose liver pate, and the yolks of eggs from pasture-raised chickens. Because these sources aren't everyday staples for many, it's a nutrient worth discussing in detail with your provider. Having enough vitamin D gets the calcium to the party. Having enough vitamin K2 ensures it behaves itself and goes to the right room instead of wrecking the house. The final key player in this mineral symphony is magnesium. If calcium is the star performer, magnesium is the essential stage manager working tirelessly behind the scenes. First, Magnesium is required to convert vitamin D into its active form. So, without enough magnesium, even if you're getting plenty of vitamin D from the sun or a supplement, your body can't properly use it to open the gate for calcium. It's a chain reaction. Second, magnesium and calcium have a beautiful balancing act in the body, particularly within our muscles. Calcium helps muscles contract, while magnesium helps them relax. During pregnancy, when your body is under immense strain and your blood volume is expanding, this balance is critical. Many of the hallmark discomforts of pregnancy, like debilitating leg cramps that jolt you awake at night, muscle tightness, and even constipation, can be linked to an imbalance where calcium is dominant and magnesium is insufficient. Widespread soil depletion and food processing have made it harder to get adequate magnesium from our diet, and it's estimated that a significant portion of the population doesn't consume enough. Foods like almonds, spinach, pumpkin seeds, and dark chocolate are excellent sources. But given its vital role in activating vitamin D and balancing calcium, it completes the trifecta. So you see, it's not a calcium issue. It's a calcium team issue. You need the building block, calcium, the gatekeeper to let it in, vitamin D, the traffic cop to tell it where to go, vitamin K2, and the stage manager to make sure everything runs smoothly, magnesium. When you speak with your doctor or midwife, the conversation can now be so much richer. It shifts from, should I take a calcium pill? To a more holistic discussion. Let's check my vitamin D levels to ensure I'm absorbing calcium effectively. Based on my diet, do you think I'm getting enough vitamin K2 to direct that calcium properly? And could my leg cramps be a sign that I need more magnesium to balance things out? This approach respects the intricate, interconnected biology of your body. It's about working with that system, not just throwing a single nutrient at it and hoping for the best. By ensuring this entire team is present and accounted for, you are not only building a strong, healthy skeleton for your child, but you are actively protecting your own bones, your teeth, and your long-term health from that silent thief. Now that we've laid the architectural foundation for your baby's entire physical structure, from their bones to their heartbeat, we have to turn our attention to the command center. We need to talk about building the most complex and incredible organ in the known universe, the human brain. And there is one specific nutrient that quite literally forms the very structure of it, a nutrient so critical that a deficiency can have lifelong consequences on cognitive function. We're going to build a brain next. The human brain. It's not built from silicon and code. It's built from fat and electricity. Over 60% of its dry weight is fat. But not just any fat. It's a very specific, highly specialized type of fat that acts as the architectural blueprint for every thought, every memory, and every connection your child will ever make. This isn't just fuel. This is the very scaffolding of consciousness. The nutrient we're talking about is called docosahexaenoic acid, or as it's more commonly known, DHA. DHA is an omega-3 fatty acid, and it is, without exaggeration, one of the most important structural components of the human brain and the retina of the eye. Think of it like this. If you were building a house, you could use cheap, flimsy drywall, or you could use reinforced, high-quality material. Both are technically walls, but one creates a structure that is strong, resilient, and efficient. DHA is that premium building material for your baby's developing nervous system. It accumulates in the brain at an explosive rate during the third trimester and the first 2 years of life, a period of such rapid neurological growth that it will never be repeated. So what is it actually doing in there? On a microscopic level, DHA is woven into the cell membranes of neurons, the brain cells. This isn't a passive role. By integrating into the membrane, it makes the cell wall more fluid and flexible. Imagine a locked door. A rigid, clunky key might struggle to get in and turn the lock. A flexible, perfectly molded key slides in and opens it effortlessly. DHA gives neuronal membranes that flexibility, which allows signals, the electrical impulses that are the basis of all brain function, to be transmitted faster and more efficiently. It literally speeds up communication between brain cells. This process, called synaptogenesis, is the formation of trillions of new connections. More DHA means more fluid membranes, which supports more robust connections. We're talking about the fundamental wiring that will underpin learning, memory, problem-solving, and even emotional regulation for the rest of your child's life. This isn't just a theory. It's a story told through decades of scientific observation. Researchers began to notice a fascinating pattern. Populations that consumed high amounts of fatty fish, the richest natural source of DHA, seemed to have different neurological outcomes. This led to large-scale studies like the Avon longitudinal study of parents and children, which followed thousands of families for years. The findings were compelling. Mothers who consumed adequate amounts of omega-3s from seafood during pregnancy had children who years later tended to score higher on tests of verbal intelligence, fine motor skills, and social development. Other studies have linked higher maternal DHA levels to better sleep patterns in infants, a longer attention span in toddlers, and even improved visual acuity, because the retina, just like the brain, is highly concentrated with DHA. It helps convert light into neural signals, literally helping your baby see the world more clearly. But the story of DHA doesn't end with the baby. This is where it gets incredibly important for you, the mother. During that third trimester brain-building boom, your baby needs a massive, steady supply of DHA. And it has only one place to get it, from you. The baby will actively pull DHA from your own tissues, from your blood, and even from your own brain stores to fuel its development. It is, in the most loving sense, a neurological parasite. If your dietary intake isn't high enough to supply both of you, your own levels will become depleted. And researchers now believe this depletion may play a significant role in a mother's own mental health. A growing body of evidence suggests a strong link between low DHA levels and an increased risk for perinatal and postpartum depression. Think about it. The very nutrient that helps build a resilient, well-functioning brain for your baby is also critical for your own mood regulation and cognitive function. When your stores are drained to build another human being, it can leave you vulnerable. So ensuring you have enough DHA isn't just an investment in your child's cognitive future. It's a profoundly important act of self-care. It's about protecting your own well-being during one of the most demanding and transformative periods of your life. This brings us to the critical question: how do you get enough of this brain-building superpower? The most direct and bioavailable source is fatty, cold water fish. The best options are often remembered by the acronym SMASH: salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. These fish are not only packed with DHA, but they are also consistently low in mercury. And we have to talk about mercury. For years, the fear of mercury contamination has caused many pregnant women to avoid fish entirely, which, ironically, may have deprived their babies of the single most important nutrient for brain development. This is a classic case of the pendulum swinging too far. The current guidance from the FDA and the EPA is clear and is designed to resolve this confusion. They recommend that pregnant women eat 8 to 12 ounces of a variety of low-mercury fish per week. That's about 2 to 3 servings. The benefits of the DHA in these fish far outweigh the potential risks associated with the trace amounts of mercury they contain. The fish to avoid are the large, predatory ones at the top of the food chain, where mercury accumulates: shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and tilefish. Stick with the SMASH list or others like cod, tilapia, and canned light tuna, and you're making a safe and incredibly smart choice. Now, what if you don't eat fish? If you're vegetarian, vegan, or simply can't stomach fish during pregnancy, this is a crucial conversation to have with your doctor. There are plant-based sources of omega-3s, like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, but they contain a different form called ALA. Your body has to convert ALA into DHA, and this conversion process is notoriously inefficient, often less than 1%. It's very difficult to get enough DHA for both you and a developing baby from these sources alone. This is where supplementation becomes a key topic for discussion. Algae-based DHA supplements are a fantastic option, as algae is the original source where fish get their DHA in the first place. It's a direct, clean, and effective way to get this critical nutrient without any marine source. Whether you're a fish eater or not, discussing your specific situation with your healthcare provider is essential. You can ask them, based on my diet, do you think I'm getting enough DHA? Would a supplement be appropriate for me, and if so, at what dosage? What should I look for in a quality prenatal supplement to ensure it has an adequate amount of DHA? This isn't about guessing. It's about creating a targeted strategy to provide the literal building blocks for your baby's brain, while also safeguarding your own mental health. We've laid down the structure, the very architecture, and the high-speed communication lines of the developing brain with DHA. But even the most advanced, perfectly wired network is useless without a power source. A computer without electricity is just a box of metal and plastic. A brain without energy is just inert tissue. Next, we need to plug it in. We're going to talk about the mineral that acts as the spark plug for cellular energy, the one that governs over 300 different critical reactions in the body, and whose deficiency is surprisingly common, often hiding in plain sight as simple fatigue, anxiety, and muscle cramps. We're talking about magnesium, the unsung hero of the mineral world. If calcium is the brick that builds the house, magnesium is the master electrician, the plumber, and the foreman all rolled into one. It's the mineral that tells everything else what to do and when to do it. And during pregnancy, its job description expands tenfold. Think of it as the body's great relaxer. While calcium is responsible for muscle contraction, magnesium is its essential counterpart, responsible for muscle relaxation. Every time your heart beats, every time you take a breath, every time you move a muscle, it's a delicate dance between calcium and magnesium. When you're pregnant, this dance becomes even more critical. Why? Because your body is under immense pressure to perform tasks it's never done before. Your blood volume increases by nearly 50%. Your uterus, a muscle, grows to an incredible size. Your nervous system is on high alert. Magnesium is the calming force that helps manage all of this. It helps regulate blood pressure, which is a major concern during pregnancy. Some studies suggest a link between adequate magnesium levels and a reduced risk of preeclampsia, a serious blood pressure condition. It's not a cure or a preventative in itself, but it's a critical piece of the puzzle that supports overall cardiovascular health. This is a conversation you absolutely want to have with your healthcare provider, understanding how your magnesium status fits into your overall risk profile. Magnesium also plays a starring role in managing blood sugar. It helps your body use insulin more effectively, escorting glucose from your bloodstream into your cells to be used for energy. With the hormonal shifts of pregnancy, many women develop insulin resistance, which can lead to gestational diabetes. Ensuring you have enough magnesium is a foundational step in supporting healthy blood sugar metabolism, giving your body one of the key tools it needs to keep things in balance. And let's talk about those infamous pregnancy symptoms. The leg cramps that jolt you awake in the middle of the night? That's often the classic sign of the calcium-magnesium dance being out of sync. Without enough magnesium to tell the muscle to relax, it can get stuck in a state of contraction. The same goes for feelings of anxiety, restlessness, and difficulty sleeping. Magnesium has a profound calming effect on the nervous system. It helps regulate neurotransmitters like GABA, which promotes relaxation and sleep. It's often called nature's tranquilizer for a reason. So if you're feeling wired and tired, unable to shut your brain off at night, it could be more than just hormones. It could be your body crying out for this essential mineral. For your growing baby, magnesium is just as vital. It's a fundamental building block for their tiny, developing body. It's crucial for the formation of strong bones and teeth, working in concert with calcium and vitamin D. It's involved in the creation of proteins and the replication of DNA, the very blueprint of your child. It helps regulate their developing nervous system and even their heart rhythm in the womb. Every single cell being created requires magnesium to function properly. So if it's this important, why are so many people not getting enough? The problem is twofold: our soil and our diet. Decades of modern farming practices have stripped much of the magnesium from the soil our food is grown in. This means that even if you're eating your vegetables, that spinach or broccoli might have significantly less magnesium than it did 50 years ago. Compounding this, food processing strips away even more. When a whole grain is refined into white flour, over 80% of its magnesium content is lost. The standard American diet, often high in processed foods, refined grains, and sugar, is a recipe for magnesium deficiency. During pregnancy, your requirement for magnesium increases, so a diet that was just enough before might suddenly become not enough. So, how can you power up your magnesium intake? The good news is it's found in some of the most delicious and healthy foods. Think of it as a treasure hunt for green, nutty, and wholesome things. Dark leafy greens are your #1 source. A cup of cooked spinach or Swiss chard is packed with magnesium. Nuts and seeds are powerhouses. Almonds, cashews, and especially pumpkin seeds are at the top of the list. A handful makes a perfect snack. Legumes like black beans, chickpeas, and edamame are fantastic sources. So is avocado. Add it to your toast, your salads, your smoothies. Whole grains that haven't been stripped of their goodness, like quinoa and brown rice, are also excellent. And here's one you'll love: dark chocolate. The higher the cacao percentage, the higher the magnesium content. A small square of 70% or darker chocolate can be a wonderful mineral-rich treat. Now, even with the perfect diet, sometimes it can be difficult to get enough magnesium to meet the increased demands of pregnancy, especially if you're starting from a place of deficiency. This is where the conversation about supplementation with your doctor becomes so important. And this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. Walking down the supplement aisle, you'll see magnesium oxide, citrate, glycinate, malate. It's confusing. But the type you choose matters immensely, and this is where your doctor's guidance is invaluable. Let's quickly break down the most common forms so you can have a more informed discussion. Magnesium oxide is the most common and cheapest form you'll find in many multivitamins. However, it's not well absorbed by the body, and it's the most likely to cause digestive upset. Magnesium citrate is better absorbed and has a gentle laxative effect. For some pregnant women dealing with constipation, a doctor might suggest this could be a beneficial side effect, but for others it could be problematic. The dose and timing are key. Then you have the chelated forms where the magnesium is bound to an amino acid. These are generally the superstars of the magnesium world. Magnesium glycinate, for example, is bound to the amino acid glycine. It's highly bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it very easily, and it's incredibly gentle on the stomach. Because glycine itself has a calming effect on the nervous system, this form is often recommended for improving sleep, reducing anxiety, and easing muscle tension. Magnesium malate is another great one, bound to malic acid. This form is often associated with energy production and can be helpful for combating fatigue and muscle soreness. Imagine a woman we'll call Jessica. In her second trimester, she was exhausted, anxious, and woken up every single night by excruciating calf cramps. She was eating well, but she just couldn't shake these symptoms. She mentioned it to her doctor, who ran some blood work and noted her magnesium levels were on the low end of normal. The doctor explained that blood tests for magnesium aren't always the full picture, as most magnesium is stored inside our cells, not in the bloodstream. Based on her specific symptoms, the cramping and anxiety, her doctor suggested she focus on specific magnesium-rich foods and discussed a gentle, highly absorbable magnesium glycinate supplement to take before bed. Within a couple of weeks, Jessica was sleeping through the night, her leg cramps had vanished, and she felt a sense of calm she hadn't felt in months. This isn't a magic pill story. It's a story about identifying a specific need and using targeted, professional guidance to address it. Your body, your pregnancy, and your symptoms are unique. The right form and dose of magnesium for you is a decision that can only be made between you and your trusted healthcare provider. They can assess your diet, your symptoms, and your overall health to guide you. Bringing this knowledge to your next appointment, asking could my leg cramps be related to magnesium? Or what form of magnesium is best for supporting sleep? Empowers you to be an active participant in your prenatal care. We've covered the minerals that build the foundation and keep the body's engine running smoothly. But there's one more nutrient we have to talk about. It's not a vitamin or a mineral in the traditional sense, but it is so critical for your baby's brain and spinal cord development that the American Medical Association has urged that it be included in all prenatal vitamins. It's the primary building block for neurotransmitters that affect memory and cognitive function for your child's entire life. Yet it's a nutrient that many people have never even heard of, and it's often missing from the very supplements designed to protect your baby's future. This nutrient is choline, and it is absolutely fundamental to the very structure of your baby's brain. Think of it this way. If DNA is the blueprint for a building, choline is like the master foreman on the construction site, directing the assembly of cell membranes, especially in the rapidly expanding brain of a fetus. It's a primary component of the hippocampus, the brain's memory and learning center. When you consume enough choline, you are literally providing the raw materials to build a more robust and resilient memory center for your child, a gift that has the potential to influence their ability to learn and retain information for the rest of their life. But its power doesn't stop there. Choline is a precursor to acetylcholine, one of the most important neurotransmitters in our entire nervous system. Acetylcholine is the messenger that carries signals between brain cells and between nerves and muscles. It's critical for memory, mood, muscle control, and even REM sleep. By ensuring adequate choline levels, you are helping to build a more efficient and effective communication network within your baby's developing body. And here's something that should make everyone sit up and pay attention. We all know about the critical importance of folate, or folic acid, for preventing neural tube defects like spina bifida. It is, without a doubt, one of the most important public health discoveries of the last century. But research has shown that choline plays a powerful supporting role. It works on a different but related biochemical pathway, and studies suggest that high choline intake can significantly reduce the risk of neural tube defects, acting as a sort of nutritional safety net, especially in cases where folate levels might not be optimal. It's another layer of protection for one of the most critical developmental processes. The demand for this nutrient during pregnancy is immense. The developing baby acts like a magnet for choline, pulling it directly from the mother's system across the placenta. This is to support not only brain development but also the function of the placenta itself and the development of the baby's liver. If the mother's intake is not sufficient, her own reserves will be depleted, which can have consequences for her own health. So where do we get it? The most concentrated sources are foods like beef liver and egg yolks. A single egg yolk contains about 147 milligrams of choline. Other good sources include beef, soybeans, chicken breast, and certain fish like cod and salmon. The recommended adequate intake during pregnancy is 450 milligrams per day, and that jumps to 550 milligrams per day during lactation because it's passed through breast milk to continue fueling the baby's brain growth after birth. Now let's connect the dots. 2 large eggs will get you close to 300 milligrams. That's a great start, but you're still 150 milligrams short of the daily goal. And how many of us are eating beef liver on a regular basis? This is where the problem begins. Many diets, especially those that are more plant-based or limit red meat and eggs, can easily fall short. And this brings us back to that shocking gap I mentioned. You would assume logically that a nutrient this critical for brain development would be a star ingredient in every single prenatal vitamin on the shelf. But it is not. The vast majority of standard prenatal vitamins contain little to no choline at all. Go ahead, pause this video and check the label on your bottle right now. Oh wait. Chances are you won't find it listed, or if you do, it will be a token amount, maybe 25 or 50 milligrams, a fraction of what you actually need. Why? The simple reason is that choline is a bulky molecule. Including the full recommended dose would make the prenatal pill uncomfortably large. So manufacturers often leave it out, assuming you'll get enough from your diet. But as we've seen, that's a huge assumption and a massive gamble. This is not about fear. It's about awareness. This is a specific, actionable piece of information you can take to your doctor. Ask them, "My prenatal doesn't have choline. Based on my current diet, do you recommend a separate choline supplement?" It is a simple question that could have a profound impact. Now, as we build this complete picture of a nutritionally supported pregnancy, there's one final element we need to discuss. If choline is the foreman building the brain structure, our final nutrient is the master power switch for the entire operation. It regulates metabolism, energy production, and the proper development of the central nervous system. Without it, the entire project can be delayed or impaired. This final cornerstone nutrient is iodine. Iodine's primary role in the body is to be a critical component of thyroid hormones. Your thyroid gland, that little butterfly-shaped gland in your neck, produces hormones that act as the master metabolic regulators for your entire body. During pregnancy, this role becomes doubly important. In the first trimester, the fetus is entirely dependent on the mother's thyroid hormones for its own development. These hormones are absolutely essential for the baby's brain and nervous system to mature properly. The baby's own thyroid gland doesn't become fully functional until around 18 to 20 weeks of gestation. That means for the entire first half of pregnancy, your baby's neurological future is directly tied to your iodine intake and your thyroid function. An iodine deficiency, even a mild one, can potentially impact cognitive outcomes. In fact, iodine deficiency is considered the world's leading preventable cause of brain damage and intellectual disability. While severe deficiency is rare in the United States, mild to moderate deficiency is more common than people realize, and even that can be a concern during the critical window of pregnancy. So why is this a modern problem? The main reason is salt. For decades, the public health initiative of adding iodine to table salt, creating iodized salt, virtually wiped out iodine deficiency in many parts of the world. But trends have changed. Many of us, for health or culinary reasons, now use kosher salt, sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt, most of which are not iodized. Furthermore, the salt used in processed and restaurant foods is typically non-iodized because it's cheaper. So even if you have a high salt diet, you might be getting very little iodine. The recommended intake for pregnancy is about 220 micrograms per day. Besides iodized salt, good sources include seafood like cod and shrimp, dairy products like milk, yogurt and cheese, and seaweed. However, getting enough can be tricky if you limit dairy, don't use iodized salt, and are careful about seafood consumption due to mercury concerns. This brings us once again to your prenatal vitamin. This is your final checkpoint. Most, but not all, prenatal vitamins do contain iodine, often in the form of potassium iodide. The American Thyroid Association recommends that pregnant and breastfeeding women take a prenatal vitamin containing 150 micrograms of iodine daily. Look at your label. Is it there? If not, or if you know you have a low iodine diet, this is the final conversation starter for your doctor. Ask them if your iodine status is a concern and what the best course of action is for you. So let's bring this all home. From the foundational power of folate and iron, to the skeletal and immune support of vitamin D, the brain-building lipids of omega-3s, and now the often overlooked but profoundly important roles of choline and iodine. The goal of this journey was not to overwhelm you with a list of rules. It was to empower you. It was to transform your next doctor's visit from a passive checkup into a proactive, collaborative strategy session for building the healthiest human possible. This video is not a prescription. It is a prompt. It's a list of questions. It's permission to be an active participant in your own healthcare. Take these names: choline, iodine, check your vitamin D levels, discuss your iron and omega-3 sources, and bring them to your provider. They have the deep medical expertise, but you are the world's leading expert on your own body, your diet, your habits, and your instincts. When you combine those two fields of expertise, that is where optimal health is born. You are in the midst of a miracle. You are building a person from love, hope, and nutrients. Providing the right building blocks is one of the most fundamental and powerful acts of love you will ever perform. Ask the questions. Start the conversation. You are your baby's first and most powerful advocate. If this information has helped you feel more prepared and empowered, please consider sharing it with a friend, a sister, or a daughter who might one day walk this path. Thank you for staying with me through this entire deep dive. You've just made an incredible investment in a healthier future.